hello. Look at all of you guys here already. Oh my goodness. Your temperature, hi Dave. Your temperature is rising, will be above freezing for a few days. We are at that situation too. Today, I think it hit 20, maybe 27. I don't know. But anyway, yes, we have over the next 10 days, we'll have quite a few days at freezing, maybe at 1 or 2 degrees above or something. But yes, low 30s for the highs, 20s for the lows. My goodness, it's crazy. So good evening to you. Hey Patty, you won't be in the chat tonight. Your baby in a sore hip. Well, I'm glad that you'll be part of this anyway. I'll be praying for your healing on that. Hey Alicia, how are you? Kiri, good evening to you. Carpool to the city today. You got food. Oh, good. I'm so glad you were able to at least get out and do that. So I'm just looking around on my screen here. I had to update my operating system. I have a Mac, and so went from Monterey to Sonoma, which is the new operating system, the OS, and it's got some really cool features. But I'm seeing different things around here, and it's like it shows like a big Zoom icon now on the top, and it's like, wait a minute. I'm not on Zoom. I'm on live on YouTube. It's like that's throwing me off. So anyway, yeah, whole new picture. I mean, when I bring up my computer to log in, it's like the effect that you can have when you're editing a video when it'll have this picture that's like zooming in on something, even though it's just a photo, but it's zooming. So that's what the screen is doing, is like taking this picture of vineyards and just like zooming in on it. It's like a little disconcerting, but it's kind of cool, all of these new things. So Joy, hello to you. Good evening. I sound off tonight. A sound is cracking. Maybe you're hearing the same thing. Let me. I had a little air purifier going here. Is it still doing it? You have to let me know. I sound like I have a cold and the sound is crackling. Oh, wow. Interesting. Slight crackle occasionally. Well, that is interesting because I have no sound going here. The furnace isn't even running. It's like totally sound free. Only my voice in here. Interesting. I'll have to let them know. Like they'd be right on top of it because of me. The computer might glitching. Okay. I might need to try to reset it or something. Let me see. System settings. Battery. Keyboard sound. Alert volume. Play feedback when volume is changed. I don't see anything off here. Interesting. Hi, Christy. Maybe turn the mic volume down a bit. Oh, you know what? I had turned this up. I wonder if that would help. So it was my receiving volume that I had turned up before. It's okay, it's manageable. Okay. Well, it's interesting that I had to update everything and it gets all whacked off here or whacked out of whack. So anyway, guys, what have you been up to this week? We ended up with like 2 weeks of highs below 0 Fahrenheit. So like 2 weeks of really cold weather, but now we're enjoying like springtime weather. Seriously. I mean, I went out today just in a sweatshirt. It was like, oh, this is so nice. 20 degrees, and it was great. Yesterday we had massive winds. It was just blowing everything around. I don't know. You stuck here for 9 days. Oh, Christy, what happened? Gotta go put chickens to bed. Okay, Carrie. You're stuck here for 9 days now. Is that because of the weather and stuff like that? Oh, anyway, yeah. I'm feeling kind of like all out of sorts here tonight. My brain is not firing on super function. I guess so. I don't know how long it will last, but no, I was doing a lot of, I'm just cleaning through stuff and purging things and everything, and I had an entire carload, and I have a compact SUV, and so it was stuffed with boxes that I brought to my college where I went through my art program, and so it was all art supplies, canvases and paints and just all kinds of things. I still have plenty at home to work on, believe me, but just all kinds of art and craft supplies that I was not getting to. I hadn't even looked at for 10 years or 15 years or something, and so I just boxed them all up and brought them to where they could be used, and it's like, if I decide to do a certain project, I'll go out and get the stuff. But anyway, the roads are bad. They don't clear these. Oh, yeah. You don't have the road maintenance infrastructure that I do. So or that we do in the north. So it's like, okay, this happens. Everything gets cleared out within 8 or 10 hours. You're out there driving and everything's fine. Even if we get a foot or two of snow, it's like, okay, we got cleared out. No, our roads are really good right now. I was out and about today, but so yeah, this. Yes, I do. Oh, thanks, Joy. Yeah, I did. I have one painting right here. When I did my degree because I'm a graphic designer, so I did my degree for that. We did graphic and web and everything. But one of the things that was so unique and wonderful about the program was that they took us through traditional art techniques too. So learning drawing and painting and color and all of that stuff to bring that through into your design. So it's not like they just sit you down in front of the computer. It's like, okay, start just putting stuff together. It's like you're learning all the fundamentals, the foundations of all of that. And so anyway, it was a lot of fun. So we ended up doing all kinds of different things and using different techniques. So not just oil painting, but watercolor, pen and ink, pencil, charcoal, pastels, all that kind of stuff. So it was really great. Hey, Kathy, you got freezing rain on top. Ooh, yeah. Hopefully that'll melt soon. But anyway, I just had this hanging down here. So this is one of my paintings that I did. So I did it in 2013, right down here, 13. So are those guys cute? I think they're just so fun. So I had to do a lot of it's a little crooked. I had to do a lot of paintings for a gallery show, and so I don't know, like a dozen of them or something. And so I don't know why I just did a bunch of birds. They were easy to do. I had the colors. It was so great, and was able to, I think each one I finished in a day or something, about 8 hours. So they're pretty fun to do. Um, yeah, Joy, it is a great program. It has been ranked within the top 5 to 8, somewhere in there, like the fifth or the eighth top ranked program in the United States for graphic design. So it's been a great program, really, really good. Um, you actually have the heat off right now. Okay. Oh, thanks, Joy. Yeah, it's pretty fun. My bedroom's a gallery. I've got all kinds of paintings up there, and then in another room I have actually some photographs because I love to take pictures too, as you guys know. Um, so I have some photographs that I took on my trips and stuff like that. That I actually I have like 3 or 4 of them that I put on canvas. So I sent them off to this company that will actually take your photo and apply it to canvas and everything, like a 1 inch or 2 inch canvas type of thing. And so anyway, one is of the Coliseum. It's a really cool angle of it. Another one is just a scenic view of some mountains, kind of misty mountains and everything, in like a sunrise in the Philippines, or the islands and stuff like that. It's really pretty. Um, just things like that. So it was really fun to be able to do that. It's kind of a neat way to be able to save like a real favorite picture that you take or anything, just to have it put on canvas. So there are a number of companies that do that. So it's kind of fun. Um, oh, you guys aren't real chatty today either. It's a different kind of Monday here, huh? You guys are all just like sitting back, just like listening. I got to carry on this one-way conversation. Oh, so anyway, yes, I've been cleaning and purging, and like I said, I took a carload of stuff away. Took a few more boxes today to the thrift store. Just trying to get rid of things, just trying to get it out. So, yeah, thank you, Joy. Yeah, it's been, we have weather brain. I like that. Oh, it's like we come out of the cold and it's just like, "Ooh." So I still have my Christmas tree up. Yes, it'll probably be up for another week or so. Yeah, probably till the end of January, something like that. But one of the things I came across that I had in our graphic arts program is called Communication Art and Design. At least it was. Now they've changed the name on it. But there's a competition every year for students and for professionals. I've never entered as a professional, but I think I have some stuff I'd like to enter this year, hopefully. But anyway, as a student, we were, in our class and everything, we would enter all kinds of different projects. And so they would get in there with like students from other colleges around the state and everything. So it was kind of a regional thing, which was pretty much Minnesota. And our school always did really, really well. I mean, we would walk away with 70 to 80% of the awards, stuff like that. So they always had them rated. It was called AdFed, so it was like the Advertising Federation of America or something like that. So they had regional contests, and then they had district, which would be like several states, and then they'd have the nationals. And we actually had, a student now and then that would end up going to nationals and winning gold there, different things like that. So it was kind of cool. It was really, really fun. It's like, your mom kept her tree up all year once. I like that, Chrissy. That's so great. Oh, that's good. You bought a new heat lamp and 4 heat lamps. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. It is a big problem when pipes freeze and then burst. It definitely are. So anyway, this I came across in all of my cleaning, my awards, and you get a certificate, and then like this is a gold one, so they're called Addies for AdFed awards or Addies. Um, but what I want to do is make sure I can get the pictures of the projects that I did, and then put those on the back and keep them in this binder. But so anyway, I have a number of them. I don't know, I think that there's like 11 or something like that. So in the 2-year program that we were in, but then we also, let me show you. Oops. That usually they would, and this was, it's an Addie, it says right there, 2011. And this is like what do they call it? It's like that solid, whatever they make plexiglass out of type of thing. But that was the only year that they did these. Typically, they made them out of granite. They were so heavy. My daughter has like 5 of them out of granite. So, but yeah, they would have them in these triangle shapes, and the granite ones are beautiful. And I was so hoping, I was looking forward to granite, but this year they did them in the other acrylic. There you go. Thank you, Kathy. So, and Sheila. Oh, hi, Sheila. How are you? A number of them. 2 bulbs go bad in 1 week. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, these were the awards. And so anyway, yeah, I decided to put them together in a binder and have the pictures with them and just be able to save that. And I have to put a picture in the front here right now. It's just, it says durable view. Oh, so just, as you guys know, when you're cleaning through stuff that's really been tucked away for a while, it's kind of like, in a way, walking down memory lane, right? It's like you pull this out and you go, oh, I forgot I had this. Or, oh yeah, I remember I made this, and this is like, oh, this is so good. Or you're reading cards that you saved, or you're reading different things, and you're like, you really don't want to throw stuff away, but it's like, why should I hang on to things that are just taking of? I mean, they're like nice memories. They're not particularly things that I need. These awards I will keep because these are important for my my business, stuff like that. But your mantle is decorated for Valentine's. Nice. Oh, your red bulbs best say 5,000 hours. Wow. Thank you, Joy. I have enjoyed it. I had wanted to do it for like 25 years before I went to school for it. And it was just never the time. I had finally would like early 2000s had gotten or was it before then? I can't remember. But I had finally gotten a computer that had, the Microsoft Office and stuff on there. But it was like, it wasn't called Office, I don't think at that point, but it was just all the programs. And they had, what publisher on it. It wasn't, yeah, I was thinking PowerPoint, but it had publisher. And I was like, oh, so I had to play with that and do all this kind of stuff. And I actually designed like a workbook out of publisher and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so it was just fun to play around with it. But again, that was very limiting. And so I ended up being able to um, finally go back to school and get my degree, and it was lots of fun. So someday I'll have to show you. It's upstairs right now, but I came across it, and when I was at school, is a 2-year technical and community college, and it's part of my work study. I had 2 different work studies, but one of them was to work with the marketing department as a designer for the college. And so one of the years, my like sole project was to design out a history book of the college, of the first 50 years of the college. And so I don't remember how many pages it was. I don't know, 170, 180 pages or something, but kind of it was, similar to this type of book, not this thick, maybe 2/3 the way, something like that. So this one is 220 pages. So yeah, it's probably 180 pages or something. I have one upstairs. I'll have to bring it down, but we had a paperback for most people, and then there were hardcovers too. So I got actually both of them. And so it's all black and white inside, but it was really, really cool. It's really, really fun. So I was looking through that, and I was looking at, because every page spread, every time you open it up to a set of pages, it was a whole different design than any of the others around it. So it was like coming up with 90 different design spreads for for all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, Eli, hello. Walmart has Valentine's. Yes, Walmart. They do. They're all ready to go. You used to looking up pictures, reading letters for 3 hours. Yes. Yes, Dave, it does feel good to declutter. Absolutely, it does. So you're thinking about writing memories down to share. Oh, that'd be great. That would be excellent to do that. The man with shiny new computer. He's on a galloping steed there, that's for sure. So anyway, yeah, it's been a lot of work, but a good winter project. I've been wanting to get this done for quite a few years, and I just finally was like, I'm doing it this year. So just start and get through it, and giving stuff away, selling stuff, throwing stuff out. But anyway, recycling things. Yeah, it's been quite a project. So I still have getting it down where the room's kind of getting emptied out now, and I want to repaint it. So it's not just cleaning it out. It's like, okay, I'm going to paint too. But so you're interested in this before computers, or computers what you got interested in graphic arts? I went to school in Minnesota for it. No, I was interested in it, I think, before computers. I mean, I did a lot of art when I was young and growing up and stuff like that, and just different aspects of it. I think, well, that's a really good question though, Joy. I was always interested in it, but I think what the computers could do got me a whole lot more interested in it. So, if that makes sense. When I first was getting interested in, I mean, long time ago, it was like, and we're talking like in the 80s. I It was like they the only way that they were doing like graphic arts and stuff like on the computer and everything was with CAD. And so it was like this $25,000 machine and all of this software and all kinds of stuff, which was way out of um, my ability, my league. And I'm like, there's no way I could do that. And so I kept waiting and waiting for things to come down in price and all that, and then being able to play around in Publisher. But I think if there hadn't been computers, I probably would have learned how to do it old school in the way of, I don't know if you've seen like those really old posters that are like all done with like colored pencils and different things like that, and just hand drawn and hand. I mean, it's just like amazing. Um, Thanks, Christy. So it seems like an area of computers. Yes, you're right, Joy. It did revolutionize it. Absolutely. Um, Caitlin, I will pray for you, but on this platform right now, I have to be careful. I'm doing it out loud. Just, but I will be praying for you, my dear, most definitely. Um, the Yeah, so it's lots of fun, lots of great memories with that too. A lot of good times. The So, whenever I get books like this, I'm looking at like the design, the cover, the layout, all this other kind of stuff. So it's just like kind of that's what hits me right away. So, thanks, Alicia. Yes, thank you, Donna. Yes, we all will. Well, hi, Donna. I don't know if I said hi to you or not, but so we've been talking about seeds, seeds, and like I put a little note in the show notes below, and it was, and I can't even access it, I don't think. Oh, interesting. Basically, for the southern states, you're all buying you're getting your seeds, starting to, start your plants, all this other kind of stuff. Um, the seeds are just starting to come out in the stores here. So I was talking with my chiropractor today, and he's like, yeah, he's like, people are starting seeds already. He's never started plants from seeds yet, but he was like quite outdone with the price of plants that, because last year he grew more than he had ever had before. And because his daughter was like wanting to get into it and doing all kinds of things. So he's like, it is so expensive. It's like $5 for one little plant. It's like, yeah. So he's like really interested in starting from seed. And so he actually ended up saving some tomato seeds from a tomato plant that he had last year. And he's like, it was so prolific. And it was like all over the place. He had one of those tomato plants that his garden last year was just containers on his deck. He hasn't quite tilled up the ground yet and done anything, although he's thinking about raised beds, which is good too. But anyway, so he had lots of pots on his deck, and one of the tomato plants just went crazy and was starting to like vine in and out of all of the railings and all over the place, and just like took over the deck. It was this monster plant. And it was like, oh, yeah, exactly, Christy. No kidding. And so, trying to look at the seeds. And so he was asking me questions about seeds and about different things, and, heirloom versus this and that, and, how to save them. And I said, you can save hybrid seeds and replant them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to get the same plant that hybrid seed grew for you. Because that's usually a combination of, a few different things. It's a hybrid. And so it could be something totally different. And so, do you start tomato seeds inside 6 weeks before the last frost date? Yep. Dwarf tomatoes should be about the same, I would think. They're just not going to be as tall as your other plants. And they may take it'll be a little shorter. I don't know. Check the seed packet to see what it says, but it should be fine. First time you grew indeterminate heirlooms, you had 9 to 12. Oh my gosh, Christy, that's great. I love it. Oh my goodness. It's like, where do you put that? It's like, hey guys, is the sound better now? Is it still crackling? You gotta let me know. You've had luck with some hybrid seeds. Okay. It's almost like a hit and miss type of thing, isn't it? Right? You've been winning lots of seeds from garden seed. Oh, Kira, you win like so much stuff. You get on there and you do all that, but now that it's above freezing, you need to plant radishes, lettuce, kale, cauliflower. Cool. Cool beans. Okay. You know what? I had like my sound for what's coming in. I was listening to a video that was like really, really low. And so I had turned it up and I forgot to turn it back down. So that's probably what was doing it. So I apologize for that. Some bell peppers you grew and some peas were hybrid and you've been saving them for a few years. Okay. They're considered hybrid until they are stable for, I think, 20 to 25 years without mutating. Wow. That's a long time to be using them, right? He gives out seeds weekly. Oh, that is so nice. That's really great. So trying to, to work on saving seeds is just really, really fabulous. So that's really wonderful. So today, I'm actually if anybody has this book and you're kind of following along, Miss Patty, we're in the brassica section, and I'm just going to kind of skip through Chinese cabbage and Chinese mustard. Unless you guys are absolutely growing that and you want me to cover that, I'm going to skip right to radishes. Are you okay with that? Now that you grew 29 tomato plants. Christy, I can believe it. I mean, like, oh, it's finally done. It's like, that's where you have to like try to find like a homeless shelter that's taking food or something. It's like, I have 3 bushels of tomatoes. Would you like them? Oh, that's cool, Caitlin. Thank you. I know. I'm not a fan of radishes either. I tried doing the roasting them. I tried, sauteing them, tried doing all that kind of stuff, and it just was still not a fan of them. So I know they're good for you, and I know that it's just, I don't know, just not a fan. I was forcing homemade tomato soup. Yeah, I hear you. It's like, you bought frozen peas today, outrageous price. Can't say your people. Oh my goodness. You have just got animal life all around you. It's like you have to have, the birds would probably get it then, but it's like you have to have an elevated garden that starts at like 8 feet high and goes up or something, or put it on top of your house or something. And it's like nobody's going to get to it. It's just like they must think that you're growing it for them. It's the only thing I could think of. And they're like, oh, Miss Curie, look at this. You're growing this for us. This is so wonderful. It's like, hey, guys, look what she's putting in the ground now. She's such a good mama. She's just feeding us all her stuff. All this stuff that's so delicious. And you're like, no, it's mine. Peter Cottontail. Someone just told you that fermented radishes have a different or likable taste. Oh, fermented. I have not fermented radishes. Like I said, I've done other things with them, but working on blocking rabbits from going through the fence. It's always a process, isn't it? Most definitely. Okay, so radishes. actually are of the brassica family. And you went, okay, how does that look like kale? How does that look like cabbages and Brussels sprouts? And it's like cauliflower, radishes. It's like everything else is like, producing out, and this is like a root vegetable. So it's like, how is that the same family? But the little red morsels that today's gardeners call radishes have an impressive history. Radishes were considered so important in ancient Egypt that their pictures were inscribed on many pyramid walls. Greeks presented offerings to Apollo, which included turnips made of lead, beets of silver, and radishes of gold. Wow. Often thought to be native to Asia, radishes appear in artwork and legends in the eastern Mediterranean that date back to 2000 BC. That's a long time ago. Radishes are available in nearly every size, shape, and color. Oriental or daikon radishes stay tender and crisp even when grown to more than 20 inches long. Have any of you grown a really long radish like that? I've only grown like well, the little round red ones, but I have grown some of the little longer ones, but they only get like 3 or 4 inches long. And they're kind of like eye reddish or purple or something. So French gardeners favor the small red, white, or pink radishes, which are eaten with butter and French bread. In India, radishes have been developed that are grown for their large seed pods. So Daddy used to say, I plant extra for Peter cocktails. He planted a bunch of gourmet greens. Oh, well, sometimes you know what? Just giving them their own garden can keep them away from your stuff. Sometimes. So rat-tail radish has seed pods that can grow up to 12 inches long. I don't know if I want to eat something that's called a rat-tail, but anyway. The immature green seed pods are used as green vegetable in curries or made into pickles. Pickled rat-tail seed pods. I guess they're good. 10 trillion rocks are the way digging them up. I had to buy rock today. I'm curious. It's like, why can't we, live a little closer? I could just drive over and just get some rock from you. I had to buy some bags of rock. I had to I had put some new steps in for my shed, but then they're like patio pavers, the 16-inch square pavers, and I had done that before winter started, and they set them in sand and stuff like that. Well, in front of the lowest step, I had to level stuff out a little bit, and so I put a few bags of sand in around there, thinking that it would get compact and hard, and the way gravel does and stuff like that, it would harden up, and especially over the winter, it would freeze and get really solid. Well, two things happened. One, it didn't, even though I packed it down and everything, it didn't stay solid. It was all soft and mushy, and every time I stepped in, it would stick to my shoes or my boots and carry it in and out of the shed and just all over the place. It was just messy. The other thing was the neighborhood feral cats decided to use it for their litter box. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And so I'm like, okay, so I got 4 bags of rock today. Each bag is 50 pounds. So I just put on 200 pounds of rock, river rock, around in the sand to just compact it down and put it around there. So it's going to do for right now. I'm sure this spring or summer I'll fix it more and do something different with it. But it's just trying to get it out of the way there. But you like French breakfast radishes? You're going to come get free rocks here. Thanks. Oh, clay is abundant. Okay. Well, thank you. I hope it, once it gets washed off, because right now it's like covered with all the sand and the stuff that they dig it all up with. And so everything looks brown. So I know it'll look nice when everything's done. So I'm hoping that, um, so it'll help it there. So anyway, the radishes are outbreeding plants that are insect pollinated and will cross with all varieties. They will cross with all varieties of wild and domesticated radishes. They will not cross with any other members of the brassica family, which is good because I think there was some others that did. But most radishes are self-incompatible. The pollen is viable but cannot grow in a flower on the same plant. So you can't just have one plant and expect it to produce all the seed that you need. Um, Pollen carried by insects to a flower on another plant will grow normally. Because the insects must carry pollen from one plant to another and not just from one flower to the other, the larger the group of plants, the better the pollination and seed production will be. So any two radish varieties must be separated by half a mile or grown using the caging techniques that we've described. Wild radishes are common in some rural regions. Does anybody have wild radishes growing around in your area? Have you ever seen them, picked them, heard about them? I'd be interested to know. I have never heard of anything around here. I don't know if anybody would even look for them. Most people around here just, their garden is the grocery store. So it's like, why are you growing all this stuff? You just go to the grocery store and get it. It's like, you've never seen them? Okay, be interesting to know. In rural areas, care must be taken to remove all wild plants or to isolate seed crops from the wild types. So radishes cannot be eaten and saved for seed too. So whatever you're using for seed, you can't eat the bulb on that radish. It's kind of like carrots will do that too, but anyway, so because it'll grow seed stock and then flower out and stuff like that, and that's the purpose of it trying to go to seed. So the bulb is not going to be edible in that way. It says, however, the green immature seed pods can be eaten in small quantities with only minimal effect on the seed harvest. So you could harvest what is above ground. Radishes are prolific seed producers. So you have blackberries, sometimes apples and crab apples. They go beside your house on the park. Nice, yeah. Berries are really good to get wild and to go around there. Actually, I end up having enough work in my garden to do grow that I don't have time to be going and walking the ditches and through the woods and everything, trying to harvest out there at this point. I mean, I think we have plenty of stuff growing out and around and about, but anyway. So radishes, for people who how big they are, and when they grow up, I mean, you're talking by the time you can harvest that, leaves are what, 6 inches tall, maybe at the most 8 inches. The seed stock that will grow up from there can grow 3 feet or taller. 3 feet tall. So white or purple and white flowers appear prolifically and are very attractive to bees. So you could have a whole garden year just going to seed, just getting seeds. Like, I'm not going to produce anything. I just want seed this year from everything. And you'll have like bees and butterflies all over the place. That'd be kind of cool, actually, right? Your pet rabbit you had would not eat radishes. Oh, not even the greens then, huh? You let a couple radishes go to seed last year and you got a ton of seeds. Oh, cool. There you go, Carrie. You have them right there. She loves Swiss chard and kale. Oh, Sheila, your husband plants daikon radishes in his cover crop in his farm field, so they grow. Oh, that is great. That's awesome. Um, so after the flowers fade, the seed pods form. The pods are green at first, but turn tan as the seeds mature and the plants begin to dry. The seed stalks are harvested when the stalk and pods are dry. So you want to make sure that they're dry before you harvest them out. Radish seeds are dried and cleaned using techniques similar to other members of the brassica family. It is a bit harder to remove their seeds from the seed pods, however, so plan on spending more time and getting fewer seeds than from other family members of the seeds, not your brothers and sisters and kids and stuff. Oh, I've heard that too, Christy. So, gently pounding the pods with a large hammer or a wooden maul will help break open pods that do not yield when rubbed by hand. Radish seeds require no further processing, which is pretty awesome. So, here's a picture of the daikon radishes there. They get pretty long. And, their tops look very much like carrots as they're starting to come up. So, as the carrots start going to seed, they'll start looking at it's like the tops get much thicker and there's like a whole lot more stems coming up and everything, and then all of a sudden they just shoot right up. So macrobiotic diet. Love daikon radish. Not sure you can grow such a big root. Oh, you might be able to grow them in pots, not in your ground, but in pots. That would work for you. If you could have like a stand of some sort that'd be high enough that you could put them up there, and then you wouldn't have all the goats might still be able to get to them, but if you had them in a fence or something like that, I don't know. But if you had like a 12-inch deep pot, I think you could do really well with those. Yeah, a raised bed. Radish seeds will remain viable for 5 years when stored in a cool, dry, dark location. Members of the Seed Savers Exchange offer about 121 different radish varieties. So said federal germination standard for commercially sold radish seed is 75%. So which means that basically everything is sold commercially, you get a 75% germination rate. So does anybody know, Dave, you saved a lot of seeds, and Eli, you do too. I don't know about the rest of you at all this, but I can barely get the tip of the garden fork in this Tennessee hard pan. What do they call it? Hard pan clay and stuff in there. So, when you save seed of your own, and I haven't done enough of this to really think about this or anything like that, but you save your own seed, is the germination rate higher than what you get with commercial seeds, or just because you're trying to build a stronger stock of seed, especially after a few years? We've talked about how when you're growing your own, you've got your own seed, and you take that seed and you plant it, and then have more seed come from that year, and just do year after year after year. You develop a very hardy, strong seed for your garden and for your climate and everything else. So I'm just wondering if the seed itself has a better germination rate as it gets older, and as you do that. So just wondering. Your germination is higher when you save seeds and plant them. Okay. Have been higher than purchase. Okay. Interesting. So that'll be something interesting to follow. Because when you read stories about the old timers and different things like that, it's like you don't know that they were saving, bushels of seeds everywhere. It's like they would have them in, a little bag or something, and but they would get really good crops from them. So I don't know. I think germination rate is similar, maybe a bit higher. You should definitely select for better. It's more important. There you go. Yep. You'll mark on me later. Okay. Forward to it, Patty. Okay, so almost all commonly available radish varieties are annuals. With some varieties that belong to the Longipinatus group are biennials. And I don't know how you would figure that out on your envelope or find out what group it's from, other than it will tell you if it's an annual or a biennial. So all are easily grown throughout the growing season in nearly every climate, although winter storage types will need time to mature. Radishes are direct seeded in either full sun or partial shade, depending on the season, with seeds covered half-inch deep. Seeds will germinate within a wide range of temperatures. Look at this. We've talked about germination and different things before, but these can germinate anywhere between 45 degrees and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Germination usually occurring within 4 to 10 days. So that's something that you could start putting in the ground right away, like in April, end of April up here in North or whatever. And then you can, because I think they're usually like a 21-day plant or something like that, right? So if you were succession planting, you could get them all the way through until like September, October or something. You could keep planting and plant different kinds at that point in time. The same generation rate in your experience. Okay, thanks, Eli. You've heard the seed acclimates with the climate, but the seed acclimates with the climate, but I brought seeds from Maine and planted apple. Okay. You love how they come up fast. Good to market. Yes, they are. They're great row markers for slow growing things and like herbs, stuff like that. So anyway, that's kind of the skinny on radishes there. Do radishes, like, who was saying that your rabbits don't like the radishes? Was it Christy? Would that be something that, like, if you were to grow a border of radishes around your garden, would that help keep the rabbits out? Just wondering. It's like, because they're very, rabbits don't like, super fragrant things or spicy stuff, that it irritates their noses and stuff like that. So it'd be like, I'm just wondering if you even just grew them as a protection type of border. Yeah, thanks, Donna. Yeah. I'm just wondering, I mean, even if you don't like them or don't eat them, I mean, it's like still, it's like just to keep the other buggers out of there would be kind of nice. And I'm just wondering if they would help to deter other insects and pests too. So, but she was a prima donna. Friends, oh, okay. I wonder if that would depend on what kind of radish. If you got a spicier radish rather than a mild one, get one that's a little hotter or something. When they go to seed, they bring the bees. That would actually be kind of, because you need the bees, so you want to keep out the rabbits. You want to bring in the bees. So there you go. We've got it solved, you guys. Just plant radishes, right? Oh, you've heard putting coffee grounds around the perimeter deters. Oh, also heard like hair and stuff like that too. For coffee grounds, I think anything that is like I said, spicy to their noses and their senses. Because I know lavender will keep them away, peppermint, all those kind of things. They just like, oh, it's too strong for them, too heady of an aroma in that way. So coffee would definitely be coffee grounds. That would be kind of a spicier type of thing in there. Cinnamon, I don't know about cinnamon. I've not heard anything on that, Alicia. Is anybody else? So you've seen radishes in a new light? Aha. Yeah. It's like, yeah, get a bunch and just put them around there. So, um, yeah, the fact that it would bring in bees and just don't just let them or plant them so that they just grow to seed, right? There you go. Rabbits won't eat over a certain height or reach, so if a raised bed was high enough. Oh, okay. The couple times that I've had a rabbit get into my garden, even though I have a 3-foot fence around it, somehow they got in. Actually jumped into my beds. Now my beds are only like 15 inches high, so that's pretty easy jump in there. But they've nested in there and just kind of they. One year they just nested right in the middle of my beans. I was like, ugh. So I had to like throw out, dig up and throw out half of my bean plants. So it was not really fun. Supposedly, they're leaving the rest for the deer. So true. Oh, there you go. So true. Um, there's something else I was going to tell you guys. Oh, yeah, I gotta. I say that hardly ever get a power off or anything like that. Well, got a call this morning from my energy company, my electric company, and they said uh, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be turning off your power because we have maintenance to do on the lines and different things like that. It's probably trying to get things up for all of the e-cars and everything that are out there. It's like, so anyway, they're going to shut my power off for 4 hours. And it's like, it is January in Minnesota. And it's like, you're shutting off our power. It's like, no heat, no internet, no computer, no water, no nothing for 4 hours. It's like, that is wonderful. And they're like, and if the weather is bad, then it'll be the following day that we'll do it. It's like, okay. If I were working away from home, that's one thing, but it's like, oh, so I get to look forward to living. I have my solar oven if I need to cook, living off grid tomorrow. So yeah, it's long enough. I normally keep my house at 68. So in 4 hours, it can get down to about 60, which isn't bad really yet either. I'll just have to probably put on an extra hoodie and, um, wrap up in a blanket or something like that. And by the time it comes back on, but I mean, it's a good thing I didn't have like meetings scheduled or anything. I do have it in the afternoon, but I also have work that I need to get done, which means that I need the internet. So it's just kind of, yeah, so, um, bump it to so yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do that. So, that's where it's like, oh, I probably should have a generator. It's like, who would have thought that? I mean, this is the first time they've done this. So it's like, yeah, we need to upgrade the lines and everything. So, uh, I do have really good insulation, Joy. I do. So, time to go to mall shopping. I was just up there all today and I was like, oh, I don't want to go back there. But, um, I could also just curl up in a quilt and read a book. I could do that. Take a nap. Oh, but yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I have to make sure that I'm up, give a shower, get everything done. I get company coming on Wednesday though, so it's like I was planning on having the day to clean and get stuff done. But anyway, that's what it is. So, um, what do we have here? So, yeah. So anyway, 7 o'clock Central Time. You guys, time's up already. So I hope you like doing these seeds yet. We're still early in the book. Um, so we'll kind of keep it going for a little bit. But your electric company asked us to conserve energy during the freeze, right? I know. It's like I already don't have heat or water. It's like, how much more do you want me to give up, right? Uh, so anyway, you guys, just thank you so much for coming. Thank you, moderators, for being here. Thank you guys so much for your support. And after almost 5 years here together, we've been doing all this. So I appreciate it so much for you guys being here. Take care. God bless. Always have hope. And we will see you next Monday. All right. Good night.